Today, we're going to do some guided healing work using what I call the regenerative bodywork system. It is a system that connects the dots between a lot of ancient modalities, a lot of natural ways that we move, a lot of things that top athletes do, that animals do to shake out, move out old, stuck energy. It's something that I studied for the last 15 years. But looking back and some of the notes that I've shared, I realize I've been studying the inner workings of the body and what it's up to through dance, anatomy studies, and just a deep paying attention. So I want to welcome everybody in to settle in, feel their body kind of land. Kristen, wonderful to see you here. Sit, Ananda, thank you for being here. Glee, Lidner, Robert, wonderful to see you here. Denise, Florence, thank you guys. Truly, this Substack community and each one of you guys being here is deeply felt and very meaningful. Mario, thank you for joining. I am going to ask you guys to take a minute to notice what you're sensing and feeling. One of the things that I said about the lives is that I invite you into an experience. And that experience is to sense and feel yourself, even though we're here together, even though you're watching a screen or maybe just listening in passively, just to take a moment to scan through your system and notice where you're at, where your baseline is as we come here together. Lee, welcome. Maggie, wonderful to see you. Thank you guys. I'm coming here live with you tonight from Peru in the Sacred Valley, where I have lived for the last 14 years, studying the body and how it heals. And I've gone through many modalities and tried different things, but for me, it's been really a lot about connecting the dots of why things work, how things work, and where they want to go. So I'm going to invite everybody that's here and everybody who's rewatching to take a deep breath in. As my page says, keep breathing. This is the pump. Inhaling long and slow. Exhaling, watching everything melt. This is our baseline. This is our foundation. We're going to start with some breathing. I call it the plug-in, just setting back into the body and the senses. Deep breath in. Do it through the nose. Sometimes I do it through the mouth just so it's audible. You can hear the dogs in the background. Let them pass. Inhaling in, and the big special sauce with this breath work is the exhale is really a complete full body cellular exhale. Feel everything just exhale from your body and we'll steam off and feel your muscles unravel, relax, and land. Now, I asked you guys to tune in on where your baseline is, to scan, to sense, to see what you feel. If anything comes to the surface, if anything pops up. Deep breath in. And exhaling out, sighing. And most practices will start like this. This is the pump. If you don't have the oxygen, the base ingredient, nothing moves because we're oxygenating and moving the blood through the body so it can get to the cells, so it can heal. But that's only the foundation. One of the really interesting things about doing this body work is I tend to give people one step at a time, one tiny little piece at a time, because sometimes it feels a little overwhelming to get an overload of information. So it seems repetitive that I say keep breathing and that I welcome you in and do the breath, but it really does help us settle into the skin, into the body, and start circulating the blood. That's oxygen. And the second you just start breathing, start to notice if there's a color shift in your skin, because pink skin, rosy cheeks, a flush, that healthy glow is oxygen getting to your cells. It's red blood. Blood without oxygen is purple or blue. So that's a really important thing to notice. It seems really simple, but notice people who are gray. sallow, yellow, green, kind of bluish. They look a little dead. And the people that have that vibrant life are the ones that have the rosiness in their skin. So that's a simple fix. More oxygen, the first thing that you'll get in a hospital, one of the most powerful medicines on earth, and it's free and right under our nose. So I wanted to welcome in Christina and Peter. Thank you guys for being here. So this is why we breathe. The blood doesn't move, nothing moves. All right. But that's not it. We have been accumulating toxins through our modern world, through lots of things that people are aware of, whether it's microplastics, everybody knows about that now, pesticides, toxins, preservatives, all sorts of synthetic chemicals that didn't exist 1 to 2 generations ago. That's how new this is for humanity, for the body to metabolize, to purge, to clean out. Our body was designed to clean itself out. Most people hold it in, have no idea that it's shamed and controlled, and have micro compressions to keep in the farts and the sneezes and the coughs and the cries and the itches and all the things we were told not to do, not to touch, and that were disgusting. It was designed to clean itself out. So, through societal pressures, spoken and unspoken, we've accidentally held it in. And the body was designed to get rid of a certain amount of toxins and inflammation. But now that our purgative clean out systems are offline, as I call them, and we've got a super toxified system, we need to go a little deeper than just breath, soften, wiggle, release, and let yourself fart and cry and sweat and cough and hawk up the loogies. Um, I say normalize all the bodily functions. So the next part is to soften the tissue. So I'm going to have everybody do it mentally by just taking another breath and then watching everything like unravel. Feel if your jaw is clenched. Feel if you are watching the screen like this. Feel if you've got any little micro compressions and let them drop. And then do it again and do it again. So now we're going to do a breath into the stomach and just see if we're accidentally holding it in. Deep breath into the stomach, fill it up big, big ball breath like a puppy. Have you ever seen a puppy breathe? It's from the belly. Fill it, fill it, fill it. Stretch the skin and then watch it inside your body. Visualize it like pasta. So just something like that. We've been trained subconsciously to hold in the stomach. Now I'm going to have you do a breath into the lower back. Deep breath in, lower back breath. Watch it soften. A lot of meditators, a lot of yogis, they're actually clenching to hold good posture, and that's good, but there's a certain lift and release. Find that middle ground that's not clenching, holding, constricting, and limiting blood flow through dense hard tissue that's going to be smashing on those nerves, smashing the spaces where blood flows. Feel it soften. Now, deep breath into the back of the neck. Everybody's got the hump and the shoulders closed. Open it up for a second. Breathe in big, all the way through the back of, and visualize it. See it expand. And we're going to start to create that mind-body connection that you actually can control consciously what's going on in your body as we reconnect, as we soften back and see it release. So there's a certain amount of pumping the breath that's going to circulate that blood. There's an amount that is letting the body loosen enough that you feel a difference in your skin. Now, I want everybody to check in after a few breaths. If you're doing it with me, which I invite you to, because it doesn't work. I tell people, like, a hammer doesn't build a house. You got to pick it up. These tools only work if you do them. And you'll see a difference immediately. The subtle shift is very real, but it's very powerful. So everybody scan in on their body again after 10 minutes and feel if you feel, notice if there's a shift in sweat, even that like hawking a loogie up, even in like if you felt like you needed to move your neck a little bit or shift in your seat, just that little shift that all of a sudden, all of the energy that's normally in the head, thinking, words, processing, all of that energy that's up here, the second we breathe and pay attention, the body will respond like that. In every single session, I do 3 to 4 breaths, and I will watch people go from here, presented tight up front, to softening back physically, literally. And then the second they do that 3 or 4 times, they'll, feel stuff. All of a sudden, that sensory system come to your senses, be guided by your body, the sensory body that we used to be outside, feeling the wind, feeling the temperature, feeling, smelling the smells. We're now in these like hermetically sealed cases that we don't feel any of that stuff. So I want you to just do a little shimmy, do a little shake, and even touch your armpit. Touch your armpit and see if there's a shift that you actually started to sweat a little bit. And if you want to do comments, I would love to hear feedback. And I want to do Zooms where I can do this with you guys directly. I was also thinking about inviting someone in to do a live, um, like come in and do a couple practices with me or ask a question directly. So if anybody wants to do that and I can have somebody kind of like co-host and share the space to do a direct kind of interaction, let me know in the comments if that's something anybody is interested in. So take another deep breath. Wiggle it out. Loosey goosey. See those muscles be retrained from subconsciously being cinched and tightened to loose. That's the main point I want to get across to everybody. No sweat, but I feel the shift. Wonderful. Open to co creating. Thank you. I think that would be a lot of fun just to see what happens. So let me do a couple more little exercises and then I think I'll pull somebody in. Because why not? Popped into my head. That's how I work. So let's do a couple shoulder rolls up and around. And when I say stretch something, I want you to really push it, not in a way, but just in a really rolly, fluid way to feel what that stretch is, to feel what it is to go up and around. I feel like so many of us just follow directions, do this, do this. Oh, okay, tonight. Yeah, I did mean tonight. So tonight, presentable, not presentable, I say, I'm in my sweatsuit and sweatpants and had a long day, couple weeks. So, presentable, not presentable, whatever. I'm no makeup here late in the evening, but I totally understand that too. That's actually why I don't do these things because you kind of have to be able to be like, make stupid faces and just be willing to wiggle, breathe, and do strange things. That isn't a presentation. So, anyways, David, wonderful to have you here. Nick, I didn't say hello to you. We're just starting to ground into what I call the state of healing. That's just step one. So we're doing the breath work, we're doing the softening, we're doing the scanning. What do you sense and feel and notice? So anything that pops to the surface, you can feel free to write it in the comments. Whether it's all of a sudden like, oh, wow, my jaw feels tight, or oh, wow, I notice these lines in my forehead that are really cinched, or wow, I'm really holding my lower back or my shoulders are up. Notice it. Feel free to put it in the comments because when we return to the body just through a few breaths, then the body speaks. Ooh, ow, heavy, zingy. Pay attention to that because that is what guides us. I call it the lighting up. It's the next thing to the surface that wants to be noticed and seen and healed. It's the pain, it's the itch, it's the wiggle, it's the twitch that you'll actually, when you land in the body, with that exhale, with that sigh, that's the let go state. Wound through the back of the body. And I was feeling that and I was feeling it through the armpits and I was feeling it in the that hump that people get from the screen thing where this multi-pound weight was never supposed to be forward. It was supposed to be on top of the spine, supporting its weight. And then all of a sudden, these muscles went to compensate. I'm feeling that hump and that thing for a lot of people. And I'm feeling this like lower back thing that's just I call it like the shell. The back tends to be our protection. It tends to be our active masculine part of upright, do the thing, cinched, whereas our front is all of our tender, vulnerable stuff that's keeping us alive. So like if somebody throws a ball at you, the first thing that people would do is to close up and protect these tender parts that are extra sensitive, keeping the body alive, and tends to be the feminine and the yin is in the front and the masculine's in the back. So a lot of people have a lot of back issues because we tend to be in a masculine energy, go, productive, presentable, upright force. Like this stuff is tends to be masculine energy. So, and it's also representative of support systems. Are we supported by the systems we've created? Are we supported by the families we got? Are we supported by what we've inherited that was created before us? And a lot of people don't feel a full level of support, so that it shows up and it manifests as what I call crystallized energy, energy moving through matter that goes, oh, my back is tight. Why? And then we get injuries there. So I go through the state of being, which is inhaling in, wide expanded breath. Everybody do it again. And if you forgot to do it, that's okay. Keep going the whole way through. And then watch it soften. Feel every muscle, every cell just deflate. Vapor off. Feel yourself loosey goosey again. Feel if there's any cracks, any pops, any tightness. Watch the shoulders drop. Watch the jaw soften from a clenched, talking, active, chewing position to relaxed. Cool. So if anybody else wants to write in the comments of specific issues that are coming up, now I'm feeling it all through the back of the head. So I'm going to be guided by what I feel intuitively as we're in a big group. Tend to feel what's going on in people's bodies, an uncomfortable part of this process for me. But first, we're going to start at the base. So in your chairs, because I'm guessing people are sitting, whether it's a couch or an office chair or wherever you are, I'm going to have you rock from side to side. Just feel the weight shift as it's loosey goosey, not forcing it. I want you to feel what it is to just sway in the wind, ocean wave, that kind of yin movement. I will burp and snot through this because as we do this, I move energy through these purgative processes and I tell people, let it out, let it go, let it flow because better out than in. If it stinks, it's hot, it's toxic, you don't want to keep that trapped in the body. So I will burp and fart and move things just as I recommend because I don't want that in my body stuck. Yeah, oof, I felt it through the shoulder blades now, guys. Left hip and knee under my right shoulder blade. Ooh, I felt that right shoulder blade. Plantar fasciitis. That's a deep rooted issue. Thank you guys for bringing these up. That way I can start to move through systematically. So everybody rock back and forth a little bit. Just feel those hips activate and feel that little tug, that little that happens. And we're not going to push into it. We're going to melt into it. So one of the tricks with stretching that I find really counter productive is that we're taught to push stretch, like really like smash into the stretch. And I want you to find the difference of finding a spot that's a little tight. You can feel that little tug on whatever the tendon, the fascia, the muscle. And instead of pushing into it, I want you to drop and I want you to hang into a stretch. So everybody do a one side, deep breath in, feel it expand. Now drop the head and feel it melt because what I noticed is when I'm doing stretching with people, especially yogis, they push, or in athletics, they try to get it as hard as they can. Well, that's gonna create tension and lack of safety in the body, and then it's actually gonna close itself back up to protect itself, because all tension is some level of self-protection. So, when we find a stretch, we want it to be kinda gooey. We want it to be kind of soft and mellow and hanging, and using weight and gravity to just let it instead of the push, because more push is going to get more tightness. It's more of that yang energy. When we do the yin, the feminine is, like I said, the wind and the water. Like, what does it feel like to like goop and flow? So this is a very different practice of movement where it's swirling, right? And that's actually how life force grows. If you ever look at an eye or the galaxy or the DNA, it's a swirling spiral circle type energy. So I want to match that. So now that we've done a couple, shift to one side, feel that. Watch it hang. Do an exhale with it. Do it on the other side. Feel it stretch, watch it hang, melt, goop, wiggle around. There's something about the wiggle that actually helps the muscle decontract, because if it's pushed straight, it's gonna go to my limit, and then it's gonna like I said, kind of snap back to tightness. So when we kind of let it goop, let gravity take it, act more like water, sink into the stretch, soften into the stretch, hang into the stretch, the muscle goes, ah. So can anybody feel that difference when you let it completely decontract? Feel that lower back. Just put that energy in with the breath, with the intention. And then watch it goop. Blah, 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 blah. So I do a lot of silly sounds, but there's something about the sound that helps it unfurl, unravel, wiggle around. And if you watch animals, if you watch children, there's a lot more wiggling. And I love this artist called Jacob Collier. He's a really young artist that doesn't play by the rules. He knows all the rules, but he's like, there's this wiggle and there's this play that happens that gives him the space that makes things more interesting. And I just love that, because in the body work, I tell people, I'm like, shimmy it out, loosey goosey it out, feel it kind of wiggle. And as we just do some wiggling with the breath and with the moving, the visualization, because it's layered, feel what happens to the body. So everybody take another breath after we did a couple sways and we did a couple wiggles. Take another breath in. See if something else started to sweat, started to itch, or started to gurgle in the stomach. See if all of a sudden you're noticing a headache or that the lights are bright. Just little shifts that you're maybe a little more acute in attention to what's going on in the physical self. So I'm feeling some major sweats now just doing that. If anybody else feels that, let me know. I'm also feeling a shift in my stomach where it feels a little goopier, a little more unwound, because all of that constriction creates heat. It creates inflammatory issues in the gut. It creates inflammatory issues in all of the parts. And most disease is systemic inflammation in different forms, getting stuck in different places. But let's all feel what it feels like to be a little gooey, a little loosey goosey. And I'm now going to have everybody do a huge yawn breath, just opening wide, huge. Take up some space. Move the jaw around. Oh, oh, oh. Feel yourself stretch that face, stretch that channel in the jaw. So much trauma happens in the mouth, talking, chewing, clenching. Stretch it out. Now, notice what happens when you stretch the jaw again. Do another yawn breath. Oh. And then watch the whole face just kind of melt off. Now, notice if you got a little more water in your eyes. Notice if you feel a little more at ease. Notice if you feel a little tired. Big yawn breath. Uh, all the way back to the throat. Fill the throat. And this time, breathe it all the way through the ears. Do another yawn breath. Oh, oh. Feel your ears crackle, pop, open. All this jaw tension gets caught in the ears, creates tinnitus, creates deafness. I have people just yawn and yawn and yawn and yawn and yawn. And once you do a couple of like force yawns, fake yawns, it's kind of fake it till you make it. I don't remember the expression, but it almost reactivates the muscle memory, and all of a sudden the tears, there's a little bit of moisture in the eyes, isn't there? And maybe you feel a little itchiness on your nose or on your face. Notice it. Just see it, because this isn't about doing it right. This isn't about doing it perfectly. This isn't about doing it like, okay, I got to do this 5 times a day, every day. It's about really connecting what happens when that these things are interconnected, because the yawn breath does so many things. First, it reminds us we are human and we need to rest sometimes. Oh my gosh, I'm actually tired. Instead of caffeinate, caffeinate, turn on more bright lights. Totally fine. Keep going. You actually sink into the body and go, oh yeah, I, uh, I actually am kind of tired. Now, it does another thing. It stretches out the jaw channel. It actually expands lung capacity to help build your diaphragm capacity, so you're getting more oxygen on each inhale. I just felt my root activate where it got really itchy underneath my, my body. So if any of this is resonating with you, just put it in the comments that, yeah, this makes sense, just so the group knows like something's happening. Something's happening as we wiggle, as we sway, as we yawn, as we retrain the body that it's alive, that we're listening to it, and that it's connected to the mind, and we have power over it, with it. So Rhonda, thank you. Melissa, Hiri's a friend of mine that actually stayed in my guest home. I love when real life people from all over the world reconnect here. Awesome. So we're doing deep breath in. If you forgot to breathe, do another one. Do a exhale. The wiggling feels good and makes sense, Asiri. Thank you. Yeah, I'm so glad you shared that, because we tend to be tight and constricted. We used to be moving. We used to be walking. We used to do these things through the evolution of mankind as we were connected with nature. And children do it, animals do it, they shake it out. They're allowed to do these stretches. And then humans are like, I'm at the office. I need to be presentable, chest up, back cinch. This is what yoga looks like. And everybody gets freaking tight. So when we're retraining the body that it's safe to let go, when the systems can come back on, we're actually telling it, just chill, wiggle, loosey goosey, soften. So I want you to notice if there's any chills that happen, or any sweat movements, or any heat rushes, or any itches. This is your body talking. This is your body reactivating and going, I'm alive, I'm with you, this feels good, great, let it go. Blech. So that's the whole point. I do this so your body can go, I get to chill, I get to relax, because the opposite of the yin on is the yang, masculine energy. I talk in terms of Chinese medicine. All that productive, masculine, patriarchal, go, directed, hierarchical, masculine stuff. The balance, it's not bad. It's overtaxed. The opposite is the yin. The opposite is the softening. The opposite is I'm safe. I'm nourishing. I'm held. So we're creating that, because that's what we need in this planet right now, is more of the mommy. I got you. You're here. You're safe. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to do anything. You're allowed to be you. as you are, natural with your farts and your burps and your weird sounds and your ugh, or getting a weird chill and going like this and being like, oh, even gotta hold that, right? So letting the tongue wiggle, letting the jaw wiggle. And I want you guys to each check in with your own body. What do you need to wiggle right now? Do you need to wiggle your neck? Let's wiggle the neck. Do you need to wiggle your shoulders? Wiggle your shoulders. You need to wiggle your butt? Wiggle your butt. You need to kick out your feet? Do that thing, right? This isn't about right, wrong, perfect direction. It's about reconnecting to what the body is asking for as it speaks. I talk a lot about the body speaks, and it speaks in these tiny little tingles, twitches, sweats, itches, etc. To do this in a community, it does amplify because we're setting a space. We want to let go. Most people know how to accumulate, don't they? Accumulate stuff, accumulate titles, take on more responsibility. But how do we let go? We let go by opening the hands, opening the body, making some weird noises, and doing what's needed. So if you're just joining in, we are going deeper and deeper into layers of healing. First, the breath, the pump, oxygenate, move the blood, get some rosy cheeks, get life force in you. Then let's start to sweat, move, and just wiggle so that the body can start to release. It's going to release in yawns, it's going to release in itches, it's going to release in sweat, it's going to release in tears, depending on where you're in. Albert, hi, welcome. Sharon, so glad that you're here. Rhonda, I didn't say hi to you. I love you guys. And Florence. So, shoulders and lower back. Shoulder stuff is going to go out the hands. So, if you haven't followed along with the hand massage, I have some lives where I do it. I have some free resources on YouTube, and I have a much better step by step, like I don't know, $7 video that you can keep your hands open because these exit points sweat, heat up, itch, and die off first. They get wrinkly, they get crusty, they get crunchy, they get hard. So shoulder stuff is going to float out somewhere. Where does it want to go? It wants to go down and out. Heavy wants to go down and out. So stuff from the stomach, stuff from the lower back, stuff from the knees wants to go out the feet. So I have hands and feet videos specifically guided for individual blocked areas systematically opening it up by squish and roll, taking that density and working it like clay. So if you want to, now that we've done some wiggles, now that I feel everybody sweating, now that I know that a few of you are yawning, and I can feel everybody's shoulders drop a little bit and their stomachs moving a little bit. And you can confirm in the chat if you're seeing it and you're feeling it. Now this is what I call like an activated, embodied healing state because we're here. We're paying attention, we're oxygenating, we're landed, we're grounded. Okay, so take another deep breath into the belly, big, big, big. Feel it unravel. Just visualize that like overcooked pasta wiggliness in the guts. Did everybody feel that? Did you feel the gurgle? Did you feel the fart going, oh my God, I was caught in the tissue and I want to get out? Great. Let it out. I just felt another heat rush. Great. So let it fart. Hello. I do as I speak. And then do it again. Do another big belly breath because I'm feeling everybody's bellies. That's where we hold anxiety. That's where we hold tension. That's where we hold nervousness. That's where we hold self-worth, our ability to create. Take another breath into the belly. Big balloon, fill it, retrain it to breathe like a puppy or a baby. Anybody that's watched a baby breathe, it breathes from the belly. It expands the diaphragm down. It expands the lung capacity, it stretches out the guts, and it allows anything that was clenched and held in there to move. So feel those gurgles. That's the whole point. We want to flush it. We want it out. I'm burning some Palo Santo for my own stinky fart, but also for the energy of just cleansing and purifying because these things help. burning herbs. They've actually done studies where the smoke attaches to negative ions and toxins and poisons, and it grounds them. It makes them heavy. It attaches and it drops them to the ground. Plus, it smells nice. So there's a scientific aspect to burning things, and then there's a lot of the old spiritual practices that burn stuff. So take a deep breath into the head now, everybody right here, and do a couple scratches. So this is the first layer, the scratching. Feel your head fill up like a balloon. Watch it. We're talking pressure release valve. Everybody spends too much time up here, and it feels good to have a good head rub, and you can do it yourself. So feel it. Watch it. Feel the steam and release. Feel it soften. Feel that natural state where you can land. Scan again. So I'll do this. Breathe again and then scan again. What are the subtle shifts? Deep breath in. Fill it up, expanding in all directions. Exhale. Blah, 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 sigh. Make a noise. Vocalize. Whatever. Make a space for whatever wants to come out. Come out. And as soon as I did that, I was like, yeah, shoulders. So let's do another couple shoulder rolls. Roll the neck out, loosey goosey. You want to pull out. Everything compresses in. So the whole thing with stretching is to pull out. So when you go up, then down, not just push, go up and then down. You feel the difference when you actually pull the full range of motion of that stretch. Then when you stretch, watch it hang. Now do it again. Inhaling in, let it hang. Now do a little roll, do it again. Pulling in the different directions, filling it with air, visualizing it, and then watch it. Blah. Cool. I go on the internet and do these things with you guys because I love you. All right, wiggle it out. Do a little shimmy, do a little shake because adrenaline, fear, inflammation releases physiologically by shaking. They do blood tests before and after stress tests of adrenaline and cortisol and other stress chemicals. After a good shake, they go down. So, wow, now I'm feeling the sweats. Everybody check in, write a little bit. Did you feel a shift in an itch, in a release of pressure, of a sweat? I'm feeling itchy on the back. Wherever you want to itch, itch. People are like, don't touch it, don't scratch it. What happens is it's gua sha. It breaks up the tissue. It brings inflammation to the surface level. That heat, you can actually feel it after an itch, can't you? You can feel the temperature change from the heat from inside rising out to the outside. Now, as you do that, warming up. Yeah, we're getting in there. Alicia, hi. Happy to have you here. Thank you guys for just confirming in the chat so that other people can see, oh, okay, this is happening. I'm not just noticing this. Literally, feel your pits. Feel them. Feel your feet. Feel what happens when you oxygenate and move your blood. Feel what happens when the body's muscles aren't so tight and that blood can flow through you. Feel what happens when you get a tingler, a twitch, or a kick. Sometimes people will be like, oh my gosh, my eye is starting to twitch. And I'm like, yes, that is electromagnetic energy. Because guess what? We are surrounded by lights, electronics, constant Wi-Fi. We are an electrical system. A lot of that electrical pent-up energy twitches out. So people are like, oh my gosh, my neck started twitching. I'm like, great. Soften it and let it twitch until it empties. And you'll see that it feels better. It doesn't feel so tight and constricted. Sweaty pits, yes. Warming up, yes. Feeling a difference, yes. I'm even feeling more spit in my mouth, like a foamy spit. So that's fun. And I'm feeling some like hockey woogies. So I've already farted on screen, burped on screen, gurgled on screen. Now I just spit on screen. So get natural. This is what the body does to clean out, normalize all of the bodily functions. So glad to hear you're having some sweaty pits and you're actually seeing in real time the body cleansing systems coming back online from very simple practices that aren't about doing it right, but about connecting to the process of feeling, the thing of being here, feeling alive. Okay, let's start to sway again. I'm swaying again. I'm just going to follow what my body's doing as I'm in everybody's energy here of whatever the patterns are. And then I'm going to have everybody flick out their arms. Can you flick it out and like really like loosey flick it like a kid? Like let it get weird. Awesome. Anna, wonderful. Anybody who's joining in new, we're getting into the body work. Start by breathing slow, deep, expansive on that exhale. Soften on that exhale. Sigh. Let your body come home to feeling safe. Most people land in the body when it sucks, when they get something hurting, something sick, then they're feeling everything and it feels like a jolt to be back in the skin because most of us aren't there, we're in our head. So when we do this body work, it's about rocking ourselves back in gently, giving us like a pleasurable, lovely experience that feels safe and warm and gooey and nice. So that's why we're going to do the sound. So do another yawn. Stretch out the face, stretch out all the tension in the face. Feel those ears pop and crack. Wiggle the jaw, soften the tongue. Exhale, wiggle. What does that feel like? What does that feel like? So that's what we're doing over and over and over again to retrain the body that it's safe, that it's held, that it's cared for, that it's nourished, that it's given the base ingredients it needs to survive. And that creates a new sense of safety. That creates a new foundation. Let's see. Everybody wants to do shoulders because those suck, and tummies because those feel pretty bad. So since we're doing shoulders, I'm going to do a couple squishes on the fingers because I told you we have the videos to do open fingers and I've done it, but I do this every day. Basically, if I script it, squish and roll. Move it like clay, move it up and down, move it along the bone, move it along the knuckle. Exhale. Squish and roll, squish and roll, squish and roll. There's no right or wrong. Feel it. Feel what the pressure change feels like. Feel what the temperature change feels like. Now, notice if you're going like this, and then how can you do it with the least amount of effort? Loosey goosey. We tend to do things with so much force when we actually can do it with a lighter touch. It doesn't mean you don't use pressure where it's needed, but notice if you're clenching other places and then loosen that. Body's so tired, go to bed early. I love that. Listen to your body. That's why we do this work, so we can listen to it. So, yeah, most people don't realize how freaking tired they are how tired they are because they're so over caffeinated and so mentally on to push. When we land in the body, usually it tells us go to bed, doesn't it? Or I'm thirsty, or I need to poop. Oops, I forgot I was clenching. All right, so this is the squish and roll to open up the very exit point where things come out. Notice I just felt the hand sweat. Did anybody else feel the hand sweat? Confirm in the chat. Take a little moment. Hand sweating. Exhale. Feel the crackles. Feel the density. Feel if there's some pain. Pain is the body's signal that something's getting smashed. That's why the nerve is signaling, I'm getting smashed. The second you loosen up the tissue, the pain goes away. This work is crazy because I've watched people's pain. Going to bed, I love it, Tim. Wonderful. Please, whoever just did some breathing and yawn breath and then realized I'm tired, go to bed. Go to bed. That's exactly the medicine you need. Thanks for being here. But for people who want to work a little deeper on the shoulders, we're going to do it by starting on the fingertips. Okay, so squish and roll. Now here's another one. Pull and wiggle. Let this hand loosey goosey, let this hand kind of squeeze in and then pull out. So basically, compression pulls in. We're going to do the opposite. That's why stretching works. That's why massage works. But what most of it's missing is all the little in between spaces and all around the joints where that calcification gets locked up and the body totally gets injured there at first because hard and brittle breaks. So we're going to loosen up all the little connective tissue, squeezing it, pulling it. Squish and roll helps with inflammation, yes, because it's basically softening the tissue. Any of the trapped toxins and the compression start to release. Now, there is an ugly part of this process where the body will go, this is leaving. Now it's going somewhere. It will come out. Inflammation will come out. Sometimes people will see rashes in the area. Use soothing calendula cream. Use some scraping. Scraping with the knuckles. Let's all roll that across the top of the hands. Can you feel that electrical zing? That little zing zing that happens? That is electromagnetic energy from the nerves releasing. And where does it go? Feel the fingertips. Everybody go scrapity scrape scrape. Guasha, break up that fascia. Feel things soften underneath. Feel that little crackle, crackle, pop, pop. Are things hard as a rock? Notice it and feel all of a sudden those fingertips feels a little zingy. Take a stop for a minute. Breathe. Feel the zing in the hands. Feel that new energy pulsing through the hands. Now squeeze them and feel the strength and the liveliness that came back from some squish and roll. Jazz hands, let's go. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So as we're squishing and rolling, hanging out, as you notice other things, wiggle around a little bit. Bring it down to the base. I don't do things linearly. I go in loops because it will start to move and then we want to repump the body. We want to relax the body just to make sure that we didn't tighten and starve the body of oxygen again. So the squish and roll will help inflammation because it gives it a place to go out. So what do you think sweat is? It's the inflammation releasing. Our body was designed to get rid of inflammation. That's why we sweat. Now people will go pay for like a sauna. That's fine. It's really hot everywhere right now. So enjoy the free sauna. Let your body detox. I know it's uncomfortable. Most of us avoid discomfort and want very climate controlled, easy, comfortable places. But I find that when we push ourselves into a bit of discomfort, not lack of safety, but a bit of discomfort, the body will go and release. So you can pay for the sauna, you can do the detox that way, but the body was designed to do it naturally. And so even doing this, everybody said, I'm heating up. My pits are sweaty. My feet started sweating. And the back of my knee pits started sweating. I'm feeling some shivers. Actually, now that we did the hand thing and some relaxation and some pumping and some visualization, I want everybody to take a pause. Feel the energy movement now in the hands. Feel that little whoo. Did anybody get that one? Zing. Whoo, the tingles, right? So as the heavy leaves, the light comes in. As the heavy leaves, the sweat, the heat, the farts, the stink, the mucus, that's all heavy, nasty stuff. When your body purges it, you'll start to feel these zings, these little tingles. And I call them like confirmation tingles, but they're also like, there's this almost like light energy that pulses through the body that you feel a little more like clear, a little more invigorated. Anybody feel a little bit more like, woo, like, yes, tired, but like there's a certain new energy coursing through the body just from those little practices. Deep breath in, scan, notice any tense parts, watch them soften. Deep breath in. Watch them soften. Watch the shoulders drop. Let the stomach drop. Let the lower back open. Just by me saying it, just by you thinking it, the body responds. That's the mind-body connection we have. So you're feeling a little tingle in the hands. Let's rub them together. Feel the tackiness, the sweatiness, that little bit of something's flushing out. That's fun. Cool. Now we're gonna do some crackles because once we soften the skin, what I'm doing is I'm pulling and going up. Now, I push on certain points on the joints, so feel around, wiggle, and it's a touch thing. It's a let's get to know our body thing. What's going on in there when I do this? Go in with some curiosity. Go in with some, hmm, huh, excuse me. Feel. Has anybody else had the burps or the farts yet? I what I call open that channel wide open so they kinda just flow right through me, but sometimes people will find them when they're walking later. So notice after the session, if you're walking to the bathroom and you're like, "It's great." It's like, "Yes, my body just moved something. Thank it." You got some farts, awesome. Never thought I would be saying this stuff, but I'm glad I am. Cool. So we're starting to get some farts. We're starting to get some natural yawns back. We're starting to get some tingles back. Starting to feel some space, aren't we? Now, itchy and scratchy, that's a good one. All right, so get in there. Now, I won't scratch the skin because I don't like to break up the cells. What I do is I actually dig in, and you can do it. I have rocks that I find at the river where I'll do scraping with a rock, or I'll get in with my hands and I'll just scratch along. So all that inflammation goes to the closest place that it can exit. Now, if the channel's open, it will sweat out through the hands. If it's blocked along the pathways, the channel, as I call it, because there's energy that moves in certain directions outward from the body um, in its natural design. But if it gets stuck, it will go straight to the skin. That's the first place. So that's why I start with the gua sha and the scraping and the itching. So let's do some scratching, y'all. Get in there with your hands, scratch along your arms, scratch. There's a really good spot right in here by the armpit that gets blocked up. Scratch across the shoulders, scratch across the neck. Ooh, my head's feeling itchy. So get in there, follow that. That's why I love that you guys are responding in real time because we can just follow what the body is calling for. And the body is so wise, it'll be like, now this is where it's going. You're like, oh, great. I'm just going to follow that and see where it goes. People are like, how did you discover this? I'm like, I just listened to every tingle, twitch, and fart, and then asked it, where do you want to go and what do you need? And I did that for 15 years. And then all of a sudden I saw these patterns that I was like, this is perfectly designed and things go in places where they need to go. And certain energies speak in certain ways. The itch is all inflammation. That's all heat. And that's trying to come out through the surface. So give it a scratch. Is anybody scratching with me? Let's do this on the internet. That's fine. You don't have to show your face, but I'm willing to show mine. It's a little awkward. But soles of feet activating. Awesome. Scratch them. Rub those things on like the edge of a desk. Get like a cat, everybody. Watch a cat like stretch a thing and then grind a part of its body on a piece of furniture and then go, I bet that feels really good. At least that's where my brain goes. And welcome. We're in the middle of some body work. We started with some pumping breath. Then we went to some wiggles to just retrain the body to loosen, that it's safe, that it can land, that it can slow down. Then we rocked it a little bit side to side. So feel free to breathe deep, rock side to side. We're now moving so much energy that people's soles of their feet are activating. Their sweat glands are coming back online. Their eyes are starting to tear up and snot out. And um and now they're getting itchy. So these are the ways that the body purges. Isn't that amazing? We literally just breathed, visualized, wiggled, squished a couple things, and all of a sudden, as we scan these subtle and very powerful changes, I'm going to fart again. Oh, I'm so glad that people are acting like cats and moving their body. Somebody just responded, I do that on the back of my chair. Totally in the shoulder blade. Like that's why laying on like a golf ball or a tennis ball and just rolling around on those in parts that hurt, it's going to take that dense tissue and it's going to open it. And then notice what heats up next. And that's saying this energy is trying to go here to release. So if you're working on the back of the knees and then all of a sudden your ankles feel kind of itchy, give them an itch. And then all of a sudden your feet will activate and then it starts to release. So please start to notice the language of the body, where it wants to go, what it needs. And a lot of times it needs to loosen, it needs the oxygen, it needs the calm, the soothe, the yawn. We had multiple people go to bed because their body said, I'm tired. Awesome. They didn't realize that. Exhaling again. I'm going to light some more Palo Santo. Everybody breathe again. Scan the difference after we did the little finger squish and cracks. It's all systematic. I know it feels a bit random, but I follow the body. And once you follow the body long enough, you'll see. I'll be like, can you feel this? I'll just push on something. Where is that energy going? Did you feel it heat up, itch, or zing? And people are like, oh my gosh, my fingertips feeling weird. I'm like, that's where it's going. I don't want people to just hear this stuff. I want them to know it's true because they felt it for themselves. So we're just going to do another one of those because I keep farting. Thank you guys. I'm feeling your backaches and your farts and your sweaty feet, and it's awesome. All right. So we just activated basically the finger channels where a lot of the heart stuff, the lung stuff, the shoulder stuff, the back stuff, the arm, the tennis elbow, the wrist, it's all going to flush out the hands. So do a little wiggle, shake, and then do flick flick. Has anybody seen that meme where the guy like recharges his hands? He actually flicks out a ton of energy from his elbow and it actually does move energy into it. So I saw that meme and I was like, yeah, you flick it out and watch any top athlete. They are shaking out their lactic acid and their inflammation out and down, out and down, exhausted, wonderful, thank you, go to bed. So beautiful that you've moved what's ready to move, that you've created that base of safety, and now you're listening to the exact medicine that your body is telling you to do. Go to sleep. I felt itchy eyes, so I feel like more people are sleepy. Let's roll the eyes. I mean, isn't this what babies do when they're tired? Isn't this what people do when they're tired? They activate and they moisturize the eyeballs, and then it helps open up the sinuses because everybody's so dry. Get it through the cells, allow it to go through the cells. So I honor anyone who's tired to go to bed. I am not a person who goes, come back to me over and over and pay me and pay me and pay me for this information. I'm like, take the information, feel what you need to feel, move what you need to move, and honor yourself. Listen to the wisdom that is within you. Good night, Sharon. Thank you for listening. So even though on the surface, I'm like, hey, bring more people in. I need numbers. I don't. I want you to feel good and have this stuff. Cool? So I do this in service to all of you wonderful, delightful people who are taking this time to spend together, and more importantly, investing this time in your own health and just more information and more tools. I say take them or leave them, but a hammer does not build a house. You need to pick it up. So let's all breathe again. I felt somebody's throat. Did somebody have a sore throat? Let's take a big breath into that back throat. Do a get the heat out. As soon as you go, you feel it's hotter, right? Then a or a exhale breath. Take a deep breath and get the heat out of the throat. A lot of people have inflamed throats, inflamed thyroids, problems communicating, all here. Open it. Feel the tissue. Expand in all directions. Feel it, do it because you're visualizing it. Open it. Oh, I love you, body. Thank you for having all this wisdom. Get out the heat. Get out the anger. Get out the We hold too much in. So the second we pump the system with life, we get all loosey-goosey, the body will guide us. We will feel what's needed to be felt, and it'll tell us the next thing. So the itchy scratchies, itch them. The next one would be the wrists. So as I work through the fingertips, then I do the scrape and I do the press in here. And so I'll take any of these tools, watch this again. I take a rock and I smash it in spots, just like a cat would roll against something, just like a massage therapist or an acupressurist would press into parts that hurt. You can do it too. You got hands. You can find a stone from seriously a garden bed, a river, the earth. They're all over the place, right? Find a rock. You don't have to buy stuff. You don't have to pay for things. Just find a rock, smash it into some places, but more importantly, notice what's happening. Is the tissue softening? Is it activating? Is there pain in there? Is there crunchiness? Start to see the language, the texture, and the feeling of your body. That is what speaks to you, but we have to actually notice it, have a relationship with it, feel it, and start to understand what it's doing. And it's totally doing stuff. Okay, cool. Shake out the hands again. After the press, you can also use a knuckle. Anything that hurts, use a knuckle. Anything that hurts, get in there with your knuckles. You've got hands, explore it, feel it, and just know that wherever that energy is, it's going to start moving down and out. If it gets stuck in the next place, it will start to get sore, or it will get a rash, or it will start to have cut off circulation. This is how the body speaks. So next, we're going to bang on it. I've shown you guys the muscle tenderizer before, and we're going to do it with gentleness, tenderness, but this is how we soften meat. There's a couple dishes here, like you meat tenderize it, you bang on the meat, it softens. So feel free, and you'll watch these old Chinese grandmas just kind of banging on their body because they can actually feel it pushes the muscle down, it sponges back up, more circulation moves through. So that's what we're gonna do now is we're gonna activate and soften. You can do it on the sides of your legs. You can do it on your back. You can get somebody else to bang on your shoulders. Breathe in, fill it with light, fill it with love, fill it with life force, the animating force. Exhale. Toss it out. I don't want you to just like flick, flick, wiggle, wiggle. Drop. You'll see the chi bouncers. They bounce the chi because they're softening this whole chest area. So these are the tools, but I want them to connect. That the breath pumps it, the release gets rid of it with any of the itching, snotting, farting, burping, crying, screaming. That's going to release pent up energy, blockages, and inflammation. And then you just follow the signs. Where does it want to go? What does it need? Loosey-goosey. And then there's another one where you can vice grip it and roll it back and forth. See if that moves. See if the muscle moves underneath there. See if it's hard as a rock. See if it's tender. Exhale again. And yes, the love that we put in, the tenderness that we put in, the patience that we put in, the attention. This is creating a relationship with our own skin, with our own physicality, our own body, the vessel that allows us to live this life, and the thing that everybody takes for granted until it breaks. And then you just go, I've only got one body, but we can catch it a little earlier. We can nourish it, give it what it needs. So I'm just squishing, I'm pressing, and I'm wiggling because I'm not just doing it for doing its sake. I'm feeling what moves underneath, what gets a little k. Can anybody feel the knots? Can anybody feel the tenderness and the pain or a zing? Feel it wiggle under your fingertips. Feel where it crunches. Feel where it's stuck. Just pay attention to it. Give it a little love. The other one that I do is I stick the thumb in and I go, whoop, whoop, whoop. I stick it in and I wiggle. I stick it in and I wiggle and I just move down and I go, ooh, that's connected to this is connected to that's connected to this. We've separated ourselves. We've separated out modalities, but I want people to start connecting the dots. Wiggle, wiggle, soften, soften. Notice if you're tense, drop it again. Be gentle with yourself. We've been trained to hold. We've been trained to breathe shallow. So it takes time to just muscle memory it back, practice. Oh, yeah, breathe. I'm holding my breath again. Oof, I'm doing that thing with my eyebrows again. Ooh, my tummy's in again. Ooh, I'm cinched up again. That's okay, sweet love. Just soften into it again. Ah, press and wiggle, press and wiggle, press and wiggle, bang, 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 flick, flick. This is what my sessions look like. Squeeze and wiggle, bang, 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 flick, flick. Drop it again, wiggle it again, wiggle it again. I do this when I walk. I don't care. Nobody pays attention. They're all on their screen. Flick, flick. I was talking to to Martin about this. Like, should I be in the park when I walk, like banging on stuff and kind of wiggling and shaking it out? I'm like, dude, you're already pumping. You're already outside. Like, no one cares. No one notices. And I feel better. And I love in Asian parks, you'll see people doing this. You'll see people swinging their arms and flopping around, and it's normalized. It's only certain cultures where we're like, must maintain persona. It's like, whatever. I've got one life. I want to live it well. So let's flick, roll, shimmy, and then let's take another deep breath. Soften, ground, feel your base, feel your feet, feel your hips. Feel yourself land, feel pressure, feel where you want to move. Stay with you. If you even want to close your eyes and just listen, listen. If you want to turn me off and just do this on your own, go for it. If you're feeling tired after those yawn breaths and just feeling your body more, please. Inhaling in, exhaling, soften. I go back and forth through these in waves and rolls just to check in. So I'm going to go back through. People are feeling the tingles, the movement, the new strength, the new lightness, the activated feet, the exhaustion, the hot spots. Yeah, feel where that skin changed texture, changed temperature. Sweaty pits warming up. Feeling tension in the tongue. Isn't it crazy that we have it lifted? So feel your tongue drop in your mouth. Feel if it's pushed out to the side. Soften it. Feel if it's pointing it out front. Soften it. Feel if it's up on the top. Soften it. Everybody take a big stretch and open the chest now. Look way up. Huge yawn breath. Open the mouth wide. Oh, open wider. Take more, drop the chest. Now I want anybody to notice if you just got mucus, thick saliva from the back of the throat as you did that one. I'm going to spit that out. Out. Get it out. So those hot spots, see if you can kind of move them around. You can do zhuzhing. You can do banging. You got the mucus. Yeah, Hiri. Thank you guys for confirming. This is fun. This is real. All of this stuff does things. This is where we connect the dots between the mind, shifting the body by telling it soften, where we put in that new air, that new life force, and then we circulate what's already meant to circulate. We soften the areas that are tight, hard, twingy, and then you'll just feel a total freaking difference in your body. Everybody take another deep breath in. I'm feeling that itch between the shoulder blades, so get back there. Itch on your shoulders. Itch on their shoulders. And then feel if you get the hot spots. So those hot spots are going to be trapped energy. So move into some of those hot spots. Move into some of those itchy spots. Follow your own body. Escape artist, wonderful to have you here. We've been in for an hour now. We're breathing to pump life force. We're softening and wiggling and getting loosey-goosey so our body retrains not to constrict and hold. And another huge part for this, when you're going through your day, integrate this with grace, with love, with tenderness. but integrate this by going, oh, wow, I'm clenching my jaw. Oh, wow, I'm tapping my foot. Oh, wow, I'm holding my stomach in when I hang out with certain people. Like, just notice when you're tight, when you're rigid, when you're clenching. And it's just the most amazing mindfulness practice to stay connected to your body and notice in real time what shuts you down, what tightens you up, what restricts you in real time, because that will guide you. These things don't feel in balance or these things don't feel safe. And all of a sudden, your body, as a guidance system, when you notice when you're tight, when your back's cinched, when you're holding your breath, then gently guide it back to your safe. Exhale, drop the shoulders, notice the tongue, notice the resting bee face. Notice what's going on in real time more than anything else, and you don't put more crap in. You don't put more tightness in that you then have to retrain out. So, if there's anything that you can take away, obviously the breath, but that mindful awareness of the state of your body. And if it's clenched, tightened, resisting, oh, shaky, and then just kind of shake it out. Go to the bathroom, shake it out. People make you nervous. People are attacking you, gaslighting you. Your body will know. It'll know in real time and be like, actually, I don't like that person. I don't want to hang out with them. Oh, this situation is stressing me out way more than I realized. Sweet. Thank you, body. So, this is a practice that doesn't have to be perfect. Do it an hour, do it like this. People are always like, how many times should I do this a day? I'm like, the more you do it, the better you feel. But start really gently, start really kindly. I've done a lifetime, decades of one way of holding my breath, moving through life, restricting without knowing it. Now I'm just going to bring some love, bring some attention, bring that relationship back into hearing myself, nurturing myself, listening to myself, the things we all want from others, but then don't realize how little we do for ourselves. I get to do this for me. Everybody breathe into the heart. I felt a heaviness on the heart. Take a deep breath in. All directions. If you can't go that long, that's okay. It just means that there's been a muscle constriction and you're going to start stretching it little by little. Take another deep breath in. If it's only 3 seconds, great. Do it without the stress, though. Do it without the pressure. You'll start to gain lung capacity again and realize it's been atrophied and restricted, and that's okay. It just needs a little love, a little space. Feel it through the heart, all the way through the back of the heart. Feel the whole back expand. Upper back is a lot of heart and lung, joy, restriction, limitation, grief. Feel the heart wide open, stretch open the chest, drop the shoulders. Now we're going to do that one again where we lift the head open through the throat. Feel the muscles in the throat go. Breathe in through the ears. Just visualize it. You're not actually doing it. And then, anybody else get more mucus? Yeah, because that's what it does. It activates and purges the stuff that got stuck. Real time, baby. So just like I'll say, oh, I noticed this thing through the day. If you notice a heaviness in your chest, bring that light into it. Air is light. Lighten up. Space. They're all light. So that's all these things are, a rebalancing of something that's been compressed, hard and held, constricted, dense. And we go, oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Watch it melt. My back's tight. I can breathe into it. Light. Feel the lightness. I want everybody to feel the levity of that. They're like, oh, I'm empowered to shift my body and my mind state. Could everybody feel that? Levity, lightness. We're bringing the light into the dark, the light into the dense. That's just a energy balancing. So did you feel it? Respond in the comments. Can you feel the levity? Ooh. Can you feel the shiver? Can you feel the hee hee hee? That we don't take it too seriously, that we don't put too much pressure, that we don't set insane goals, that we just guide ourselves lovingly, sweetly, fondly through this process. Drop it again. Okay. Thank you guys for playing. We can go deeper. We can go so many layers deeper, but I think that's enough for this evening. I'm glad we got sweaty feet, some mucus, some coughs, some yawns, some tears. I love it. I am so proud of all of you for just meeting yourself. The delightful giggles with the farts. Yes, I knew it. All together now. A chorus, a cacophony of farts and giggles. I love it. Everybody feel that whoosh. Did you feel that whoosh? When I say that I invite you into an experience to do this with me, I feel you. So I want you to know that. And it's beautiful that you in this real time can feel me and the space that we hold together. And it truly is together. So wiggle it out, check back in with yourself. And I'm going to ask, because I will give us another probably half an hour to ask some questions. Specific points, specific pains, specific things, things that pop into your head without shame, without judgment. Um, hey, want to know this? Or hey, what's this mean? I'm here for it. I'll keep scratching my head and doing what my body wants to do. You guys can keep doing it too, because it feels really good. Oh, dead skin will start to slew off. It'll start to regenerate from underneath. And so if you have calluses and you have a dead spot and then you start bringing more life into it, that callus will start to soften up and leave because there's new skin underneath growing. And then it won't need that hard protection. Wildfire smoke. First, let's all visualize rain. First, just let's all thank the water that exists to hydrate us and to cool the fires on this planet. Everybody drink some water. Everybody shed your tears. Melissa asked about wildfire smoke. I know that's not the literal practical answer, but it is the deeper solution to everybody just visualize a pouring down thunderous, beautiful rain and how special and amazing and needed and balancing that is, because I do think shared visualization, shared prayer is so much more powerful than people think. So let's just visualize the rains, the cool off of the planet, the balancing of the energy of this heat and this fire that goes unresolved on the planet, because it shows up we are connected in one with the planet on such a deep level. Let's just visualize a cooling, that like wonderful cooling wind, not the harsh screaming kind, but like this wonderful cooling wind. And then these incredible diamond raindrops and that wonderful rhythm of the sound of rain. Now that we've done that, the practical thing of actually keeping your lungs clear. I mean, these wildfires, they send out some really toxic, nasty smoke. Let yourself cough, because the coughing mechanism got shut down during COVID out of unbelievable. Oh, the tears. Yes, everyone let the tears. I'm so glad. Thank you for tuning into that so deeply, Hiri. To just cry for the earth, cry for humanity. That's just been like, we need to let it on fire, anger, division, war. And it's like, whoa, guys, whoa. Like, we're here to just, balance this stuff out. I realize that's not the only way. So we just visualize the rain, visualize the tears, feel the waters move and how sacred they are, and feel the tears flow out. And I swear there is a part that's connected that we cannot see, but these threads of life that are so powerful, to see the rains come, to bring the rains in. But to keep your lungs clear, lots of hydration, lots of fluids, because it's extra toxins, and water is purifying. It's going to help your blood flow. It's going to help your lymphatic system flow. Fluids, water, same. So drink a fuck ton of water. Drink a lot of water. Bathe, breathe in. I mean, there are some amazing things, like if you're just trying to keep it out of your house, like you can actually use wet cloth and though it gets trapped the smoke gets trapped. But when you have to cough, cough. Like, hawk up the loogies, hawk it out, because when everybody goes because they don't wanna look like they're coughing at everybody and COVID, like, obviously, do it appropriately, don't cough on everybody, but let yourself cough, because tears help liquefy and move all of this sinus stuff. This is all tears and grief. When this isn't resolved, it goes inward and it goes to the lungs, and then it fills with fluid, and then and it will move out. So all this pneumonia came out after COVID because people forgot to cough, and then fluid buildup happened. So we need to let ourselves hawk it up, cough it out. Mucus is going to clear it out, but drink a lot of water. Use, filters if you can. I mean, plants, baby. Get some plants in your house. Those are natural filtration, snake plants. But I think beyond that, we visualize this healing of the earth, humanity's relationship with the earth, our relationship with water versus fire. This is all the flow, right? This is all the feminine. This is the oceans. This is the rain. And this is the stuff that's terrifying because it's also a sensual, sensing, feeling, embodied thing. These are the things that will heal and balance the world. So, uh, feel, oh gosh, as soon as we tuned into the wildfires. Yeah, I mean, they suck. But get in the water, drink the water, honor the water, bless the water, visualize the water. Just, oh, what a sacred thing. And we forget until we need it, until we're starved of it, until it desertifies. We don't realize the power of water. So, um, that's what we can do about the wildfire smoke. And I've lived in areas with wildfire. I know the heavy feeling. So as we bring the light into ourselves, remain centered with it, sending prayers and love out to humanity, that is powerful stuff. Like, there are times we feel really disempowered in these big global changes and things that feel out of our control. But I really hope people understand how powerful they are from within and energetically. When two or more come together, I mean, it's exponential. It doesn't just go like this. When multiple people visualize and pray, the power is incredible. I mean, think about the shared vision of how many billion people watching FIFA and like, and then like fires blow up, Think about all of the 4th of July all at the same time. Like explorations and representations of war. And it happens every July. It literally goes 4th of July, insane, like global ritual of like, and then like fires. And yes, it's more than that, climate change and shifts, but like energetically, I see it every year. And I just don't think that people know that these mass rituals have unbelievable power, but they do in the opposite way, where when two or more come together and visualize the rains, when two or more come together and visualize peace. And it's not just in the Bible, it's in many ancient texts of the power of collected shared vision, and why the movies that we watch and the things that we watch in the collective are unbelievably powerful. Didn't expect it to go there. But that's how I see it. That's how I feel it. Taken to sleeping outside in a hammock and feeling all the things. Wow. I do that a lot too. It is powerful to sleep outside. Powerful to sleep outside. I read the book Last Child in the Woods. I mean, I cried through the whole thing. It's a lot of studies and academic stuff, but then a lot of like indigenous wisdom as well. But it talks a lot about how being in nature is the sensory experience. You're smelling flowers, you're hearing the buzzing of the bees, you're feeling the texture of the rock, you're feeling the sponginess of the earth. And when we're embodied and we feel and we sense using our 5 senses, we are connected to our whole system, the nervous system, all of its nerve endings, this whole thing. And nature awakens that within us when we feel the breeze on our skin, when we feel the the rain, when we poop outside, when we dig a hole, like we're sweating, we're feeling, we're pumping, we're here. And humanity did that for how many eons and then forgot and made it real comfy, tidy, and accidentally built ourselves little cages. And I'm super grateful for my house, but I still spend 90% of my time outside. And there's another part to that of this sensory nature, this embodied physical sensual nature without being sexual, but sensual. The word was from the senses, is also connected to the word clairsentience. Clear feeling is where our psychic seeingness comes from. The way that I channel and know what I know and feel what I know, feel what I see. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's getting late. But all of it, um, that's how I started channeling. I started tuning into my body, feeling better, clearing out the heavy. The light flew in. The light comes in as many layers as clarity, that we're tuned in and connected to more unseen than we realized, whether it's Wi-Fi that sends all of our information or spirits that passed over. These are invisible energies and people can take it or leave it. But that's how I see it, that we have this clear sensing physical body, temple, vehicle thing. I actually hate when people call it a meat suit because I see it as such a living, breathing part of our human experience of everything that's ever happened to us in ourselves as this honored and sacred vessel, um, that it's also the antenna that keeps us safe. It is our intuition. Take that or leave that. But it's really cool to hear that you're sleeping outside and feeling so much. And then the trick is, what do we do with all this feeling? Stay with it, be gentle, be slow with yourself to not bombard and overwhelm it, but go with ease. Are there wildfires in Peru and a way to protect the ancient trees I've seen in your posts? I mean, this has been my prayer. This is part of the reason I'm here. There are not very many ancient forests and old native trees, and I care about them so deeply because they hold such energy and such wisdom. Um, I share them to show that they exist, to show how magical they are. Because a lot of people just don't even know and aren't even aware of them. It's been a long journey to figure out how to get people to care, and how to create a movement. And I really do think it starts within each one of us, breath by breath, and the consciousness we have to invest in the things we care about, to live and act in integrity in accordance to the things that we give a crap about, that we really care about. So for me, I really care about nature, and it took me deep into nature. As for how to inspire others to care and spend money and plant things and be moved to action, um, my job is to voice it and to share it and to show a record of it, that it exists, just so that there's an awareness as a baseline. There are more organizations here now than when I started that have organic farming, are doing native tree replanting. I would say the consciousness of this nation has shifted enormously in a disconnection and move away from the land. And I will say it's been hard to witness, um, with the TV. I share a lot about like the cultural changes historically, but there's meaning behind it, right? The woven textiles that I share had wisdom infused through symbolism, but a deep connection to the relationship of the tree, of the lake, of the hummingbird, of the land under people's feet. And they held that within the practice of caring for alpaca, walking them in the sun and the rain, knowing them deeply, knowing the paths, and having an arena where it was valued and it was a part of the representation and identity of the culture. And now people have had to walk away from that for many reasons. They don't have to, but the choices are very hard. There's ease and convenience and money on one side. And as much as people can judge, oh, they shouldn't do that. Like, Europe and the States did that thousands of years ago and are only crawling their way back to even noticing and recognizing the earth again. Whereas the people here were deeply connected to the earth. And now they're going, wait a second, this is a very physically taxing, uncomfortable, hard thing. And there's easier. So I'm seeing these consciousnesses kind of go around and coming back around. But there's not a whole lot of awareness and protection in Peru right now for the mountains. There are still people fighting for the care of the land, which I'm so grateful. So send them prayers, send them strength, send them very real, visceral support. I mean, I did a fundraiser to basically buy out 50 hectares of old, pristine, huge, 1,000-year-old trees. And it was like crickets. And so, what can we do? I mean, we can put our action and our resources and our values and our funds and our choices behind the people doing it, behind the projects willing to go into uncomfortable situations. That's how we can do it. And that's just the truth. But that takes a deep consciousness shift from within to be like, do I need another coffee? Do I need another pair of shoes? Should I get tickets to blah, 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 blah? Or is this tree and the meaning of it and the wisdom of it and its existence more important than me having a cup of coffee? Like, these are the choices we make. Do I need to have 10 more streaming services and be synced into my phone and have all this noise pinging at me? Or do I need the nourishment of a clean river? These are the things that we face as humanity right now. And it's a hard and humbling choice. I've done it. I tell people, like, it is not for the faint of heart. Like, it's facing discomfort. It's facing unknown. It's facing sweat and tears and bugs. And not everybody likes that. It's like, I'd rather be comfy with my bank account full, knowing where my next meal is going to come from. It takes a certain amount of like wild trust and weirdness to make these choices. I'm going on kind of a tangent. You guys asked me some really interesting and deep questions, and I don't mean to soapbox by any means nor judge people's choices, just sort of point out the realities that we make choices every day to send money to Bezos and be like, oh, he's so rich. Why is he a billionaire? Why is why does he have all this money? Because we gave it to him. Why do the governments do this? Why do the people do this? Why do so many people have power? Because we gave it to them. And it's a choice. And most of it's unconscious, but the more it becomes conscious, then we can go, well, what do I do with this information? What matters to me? What's meaningful to me? What will make a difference? Um, but I find that people willing and brave and facing the greatest challenges, they find themselves alone a lot of times and being like, anybody care? Anybody want to squish their nose with me and smash stuff, and you'll feel better and you'll feel clearer and you'll feel your dreams come back and your sleep increase. And people are like, sounds weird. I'll rather take a pill, or that's going to take me time, or I don't know what that is. So, yeah, you tell me how that shifts. And I just think it's one breath at a time with trust and keep going to see what truly matters. Any other questions? I don't know if that was interesting to anyone, but these things matter to me a lot. And as much as I say it, I'm not cynical at all. I'm actually incredibly hopeful for humanity, but it's hard to hear the truth by, yeah, being a part of the solution means a choice in where we put our time, energy, money, and attention. And that is up to each one of us as a collective, but starting individually, because most people go, it's their fault, they're digging, they're mining. And it's like, well, where does that go? You're buying the product, you're buying the lithium, you bought the brand new computer and the brand new phone and the brand new mic when you could have gotten a secondhand and not had a kid mine for more cobalt. Why are there so many data centers? Because everybody's using ChatGPT instead of talking to their friends or talking to themselves or talking to God. Like, these are choices. And the data centers will continue to grow with the more noise that we create. And so it's not, don't use it. How are you using it? How are you using it? Why are you using it? Do you want to continue using it, but not yes or no, all or nothing? In what way? And can I make it meaningful? If I'm going to use a computer, I want it to be meaningful. I want it to create. I want it to share. I want it to bring love. I want it to bring awareness. I want to bring connection and friendship and goodness. And sometimes scrolling for cats, funny cat memes and things like that. And sometimes a funny video. But like, how do we use it? If we know it does damage, how do we use it? If we take that shower and use that fresh water, do we say thank you? Do we say thank you that our electricity turns on because there was copper mined somewhere? I mean, we're all connected. We're all connected. This is our home, and we're all part of it. And so I do not mean any of this with a sense of judgment or criticism. This is stuff we inherited, stuff that was normalized, stuff that is mass produced, mass accepted. And then it takes a crazy person to be like, are you sure we want to do this? Is this weird? And then people go, that person's weird. And we're like, yeah, probably I am. But at least I'm asking the question and willing, imperfectly, weirdly, but and I don't have all the answers, but I'm at least willing to find out and try and mess up and see what works and see what doesn't, and save a couple trees and plant a couple more, and then share a picture that this tree is so beautiful and they should exist and we should care. But if you don't, that's okay too. Being the solution more than the problem, and very interesting. I just think we really have the power to change the world. I mean, here's a stat for you, and I think I might have shared this, but like Game of Thrones, anybody remember that from like almost 10 years ago? I did the math, and I think it was 64 billion man hours shared on that. The World Cup, how many trillions of dollars, trillions of hours to invest in like, my team, Argentina, Spain, flags, how many hours, dollars, resources got invested in a game with balls. And that's okay, but like that's a choice, humanity. And so like you take even a fraction of that and you go, let's all meditate on love. Let's all wiggle our body. Let's all do one lick kind thing. Let's plant one tree, one flower. Let's just thank the water. Holy smokes, you take trillions of watch hours from a game and you redirect it into something meaningful, creative, loving, beautiful, kind. Drop by drop by drop by drop by drop, the ocean goes change of scenery, change of earth. You want the wildfires to stop? Don't plant the ones that are so incendiary for the timber industry that burn like that and get full of beetle bark, dry out, and then tinder fire. Like there's so many things where it's like, where did the leafy oaks? Has anybody seen those? I'm totally soapboxing. I'm getting like really passionate about the things I care about. But like the trees from the 1900s that got that got cut down were like, I mean, a bus in radius, is that the right one? Diameter? A like a bus of diameter, just like cut down, sent to the king, replanted with pine. And people got so mad at me when I talked about pine plantations and eucalyptus plantations, but they literally kill the forest and deplete and don't have canopies and microorganisms. Like they're just crazy. And all of that goes to timber for more building. It's like people need bigger houses. They need more houses. They need the shed. They need more. And it's like, do we? Are you happier? Are you more fulfilled? I don't know. I don't know that people are. They have more stuff. There's more hoarding. I love you, humanity. Speak for the trees. But seriously, like, if you sit under an old tree, they just sing, they chatter, they dance, they talk, and you're just filled with love and gratitude, flowering with the smell and the spongy grass underneath and all this life growing in it and the birds coming in. Like, you want to live in reality? Like, it's just all encompassing sensory but not overload. It's just like supporting you and singing to you and whispering and chattering and swaying. And you're just like, beautiful tree, and then it changes leaves, and it gets golden, it gets red, and then it goes to sleep, and then it blooms again, and you're like, the seasons, the cycles of life itself are astounding. And then we cut them down because we need bigger houses and just plant it's just bonkers to me. I mean, I get it. I totally honestly, at the same time, as crazy as I think humanity has gone into disconnection of, like, "I need more stuff. This shoe matters more than this shoe because it has this mark and this person wore it." It's like, it's the same plastic shoe built in China. A shoe is a shoe is a shoe. Um, it's wild. So, yeah, put your time, energy, and resources into things you care about, like, really care about, and breathe and care about you to breathe and nourish and hold yourself so that you can see what really matters to you. Um, I can't believe there's 30 of you still here with with this. I really went, but that's I mean, that's who I am, so here I am because I care so deeply. I love so fiercely, and I'm so hopeful, and I still see where we're at as humanity, and that's okay because 'cause we're learning. We're learning. Anybody else have any other questions about healing? Am I gonna post this on the internet? And I say, take it or leave it. I keep shuffling cards for what? Humbling perspective. I mean, I say it with such gratitude and understanding for where everyone stands and their experience and what matters to them and what is pushed in their face to matter. Like, I worked in marketing. We spent millions of dollars telling people, this one matters. You're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You need to buy more stuff. Hey, click here, do this. And we studied the brain and we studied the psychology and we studied the eye tracking of where people went. And it was sick. I mean, it was absolutely manipulative, sick that we spent so much time and money to manipulate people to think they needed things they didn't need. And then people are like, "Oh, I hate myself because I want this thing." It's like, well, you literally got a repeated message through billboards, through ads, through product placement, through all these places. So, like, let's not be mad at ourselves, but ask, like, where did it come from? Like, was this idea ever mine that I needed a giant ass house filled with so much stuff? Like, was that mine? Did I need that? Did I get pressure from my family? Did I get pressure from society? I don't see it as anyone's fault, but I see it as an opportunity to just look at it differently and go, okay, what do I want? What was actually my voice? Do I need to wear a different picture for every post? Like, that was a thought I had in Los Angeles. I need a different outfit because we're going to get photographed. It's like, who cares? These fashion trends are so manipulated and shoved in people's face. Now we're back to wide leg jeans. Now we're back to skinny leg jeans. Now we got pointy shoes. Now we got chunky shoes. And they just cycle around and round. And if you're not with it, you look uncool, you look undesirable. But honestly, you have way less money, way less stability, and way less self worth. So I'm just saying stuff today, aren't I? But I mean, I worked in it. I saw the power and the push of and the money and the resources to drive people's decisions. So really ask what matters? What matters? Like, I'm going to do this Instagram picture of like a $500 meal for who? Are you really enjoying it? If you are, awesome. Enjoy the heck out of it. And then if you're like, wow, I could feed like 500 families that are starving tonight and not take the Instagram picture and eat a simple meal, it's a choice. Without the judgment though, because really, I did all of it. So I'm not here to judge. I'm just like, wow, where are we? Where am I? All right. Love, trust, and retreat. I pulled some cards as a closing message. If anybody has another question, feel free to go for it. Uh, got a little fiery and spicy tonight after a lot of the wiggles and burps. Wild Rose Fairy, love, Crystal Cave. Love. Love is the answer, my darlings. It always was. It always will be. It always is. That is the eternal, most powerful force. So as soon as we feel um, disempowered like this, when we love something, when we're passionate about something, when we care, when we see it, when we love ourselves, like it is just the answer for everything. It gives us freedom. Trusting this process of going into the cave of darkness and seeing stuff. I mean, there are treasures in the depths of the unseen, of what's unconscious when it becomes conscious and in the light. That's the work, hey? And then the retreat, the stillness. Everybody gets scared of winter or the rest time or within when things are stuck or stagnant. I'm not growing. I'm not doing enough. I'm not productive enough. Yeah, we all got programmed to be hyper productive for capitalism. It sucks. It's exhausting. Burnout is real because we weren't meant to do that. So, being able to really sink into stillness, retreat, the counterintuitive idea that we're allowed to just exist as we are and be happy. And I mean, look at this simple little cottage. I have lived in some very ranging accommodations in my life, and what we actually need is little. Any traveler will tell you, a long-term traveler, that they pack a bunch, and by the end, they realize they need a few shirts, a few pairs of pants, some socks, some underpants, some shoes, and that nobody cares because every culture says this is cool, that is cool. It's different, it's relative. And that one force telling you what the thing is that you should do, should wear, should buy, where you should live, it's just not true. That our true needs are quite simple: food, air, water, sunshine, rest, love, purpose, and some beauty. So, this is a fun journey we're all on Earth, and thank you guys for supporting my passion and care. That it's not just a care for the Earth; it's a care for humanity. Because if there are no trees and there is desertification, we don't breathe, the rains don't come back, and the soils go barren. And guess what? We don't eat. And those are our needs all being provided for by the earth, which is our home, which is our mother, which is us. And so I speak this not because I'm a crazy tree hugging hippie. Okay, maybe I am, but like it's just the reality. It's the reality. And everybody sees it happening over there and over there and over there until it creeps in and creeps in and creeps in, and the wildfire smokes in your face. And you go, oh, I'm so inconvenienced. This sucks. I don't like this. Or we can go, just like the body whispers and then shouts with a twinge and then a kick and then an injury and then like a debilitating illness. The earth does the same. She goes, hey guys, things are out of balance. My waters are pretty messed up. The fish are dying. Hey guys, things are kind of out of balance. You kind of messed up the cycles a little bit. And then it goes, hey guys, I'm going to burn it down until everybody looks at me. It's out of love. We get mad at ourselves when we get mad, right? But usually we get mad out of some deep injustice, out of some deep pain that was real, that wasn't validated. So I hope we can validate the earth that has given and given and given and given every single thing in your home, every single thing in your life, every single thing in your body. That it's not a hippie thing. It's life depends on it. And she's shouting now. Put your time and energy into what matters, into life. Earthen homes without electricity, I've lived in it. It was very humbling and very beautiful. And that was the part I loved. Someone just wrote that in the comments. I felt completely different, and I turn all these lights off afterwards because it's overwhelming to my nervous system. I notice even my voice starts going, "Ah." When I was in the jungle, there was this depth and this groundedness and this softness and this stability in a lot of ways with the simplicity. And I think that we tend to swing in far extremes until we can find the balance center. So we don't have to go too far out, maybe. Just touch the edge, see what works for you. But having my home out of Adobe, oh, okay, that one's not Adobe. It's very hollow. That's a little bit less Adobe, but our Adobe walls are this thick, and they hold the heat, and they keep a perfect humidity, and they don't grow mold, and they are so cozy when it's cold and cool when it's hot, and the hobbits knew what was up. Hobbits were awesome. So I like turn down my electricity. I think it's so valuable we have this tool, but I like candles at night. I really do think that there's something so grounded and so connected with these natural elements in these simple ways, and you don't know it until you feel it. So take it or leave it. Thank you for all the people who joined late, Rebecca, James. Um, really love you, and Mono no aware. Thank you guys all for being here. Feel free to do the rewatch. We did kind of a deeper dive on the experience of healing, the state of healing, and I call out in real time what people are feeling, sensing, and shifting as it happens with very simple practices. And then I got asked a few questions about things I'm deeply passionate about because it's how they are, which aren't always easy to hear. And I say it without judgment, but with just so much love that I believe in us humanity and the choices we make, breath by breath by breath. All right, my darlings, it has been about 2 hours. It is 10 o'clock at night, and my body is now saying, rest now, sweet one. And I encourage you all to do the same if it's your time. If it's not, for you crazy ones in Europe that decided to join in, thank you. And I love you so dearly, Martin and Haiti especially, who I know very personally, both of them. And then just the wonderful friends and souls that I've met here. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for supporting the work that I share and that I bring into the world. So take care. Ciao.